Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing you a brush collection video because I keep saying that I should do it and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So this might be kind of a long video because I have a lot of brushes and I don't know how I got all of these. I'm kidding, I do know how I got them, but I'm going to stop talking about it and start showing. So I'm going to start by showing you, I guess, face brushes, like face application brushes, and then onto eyeshadow and such like that. This is my Sigma Angled Kabuki F84. I have all my Sigma brushes in a plastic sleeve that they come in. It's actually like a little stitched plastic sleeve so that it keeps their shape because I like that. And it's just a little doohickey like this. And I'm gonna start tossing them over there. This is my Sigma Flat Angled Kabuki F88, and it just looks like this. Sigma Round Kabuki F82. These are good for just foundation application, cream product applications, things of that nature. This is my Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. It's just a flat guy. Not a fat guy, a flat guy. This is my Sigma Tapered Kabuki F86. It's good for getting in these little areas with, which I use my beauty blender so much now that I hardly use my brushes right now, but I alternate so much with things that I do that I wouldn't say, oh, I don't use brushes anymore, because I flip-flop a lot with stuff like that. This is my It Cosmetics Airbrush Powder Brush. Just a big, nice, fluffy guy. This is me dropping things, duh. This is my Luxie F14 Blush Brush. It's just a little duo fiber blush brush that has some blush in it that just foofed out of it. This is a Luxie 504 Large Angled Brush, which is good for contour and blush also. I need to give these a wash because I haven't washed them in a little bit. This is my Luxie 660 Precision Foundation Brush. I never use this for foundation. I use it for contour because it is the perfect size for contour. I don't use it for contour now. I use my other Luxie for contouring, but that was the one I originally was using. This is the Real Techniques contour brush. It looks really similar to that one. Same thing about this. I got this set of Real Techniques brushes and they were really affordable. It was one of my first brush sets that I had went and bought from Ulta, and I thought that was a huge deal, which it was to me at the time. And this came with it. It's a pointed foundation brush, which I never used for foundation, but for concealer was good. It also came with this detailer brush, which is good for contouring places like your nose, or up in here, or here, or applying your inner corner highlight and things like that. I have a Smashbox angled blush brush. It just looks like a blush brush, nothing special. I have this e.l.f. Kabuki face brush, which I would sometimes like to use to go in after I've applied all of my product and just kind of make sure everything's blended together. I have my It Cosmetics Soft Touch Blush Brush. Never use that for that. I actually use this for contour, or I would use that for liquid foundation because it worked really well for that. Blended it out really good. This is a It Cosmetics Airbrush Concealer Brush. I tried this for concealer a couple times. I don't love using a brush for concealer, so I really don't use it unless I need to clean up around my brows, and then in that case it's a lot easier, but then I would use a flat concealer brush and not that. This has a name that has been rubbed off of it, so I don't know what it is, but it is a concealer brush. I can tell just by how it looks, but I don't use it for that. I actually don't use this at all anymore. So this is my It Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Complexion for Perfection brush. That's the concealer end. This is the foundation end. This is good for foundation. I don't use this end for concealer. I really don't like double-ended brushes, which is a shame because I really like this brush. But I need to be able to sit it somewhere. So instead of having it sitting and like where I have my other brushes at, it's having to stay in a container such as this because I can't stand it up on its end, you know what I mean? So the next brushes I have are my Crown Okay, I think this is a blush or a contour brush, and this one's a Crown Cosmetics one also, but it does not say what it is, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But they look like this, and I really like these brushes for the fact that if you're not experienced in like where to hold your brushes, how much pressure to apply, things of that nature, it has little divots. Maybe the white will be easier to see. It has little divots. Can you see that? In the side of the brush. So there's a thumb one back here. I mean a finger one and a thumb one. So it literally shows you where to put your thumb and your finger on the brush. So if you aren't as experienced with it, or maybe you're applying your product too hard or too light, it shows you the perfect placement. And it's just, that helps out with people that don't really know like that makes a difference, because it does. You should really be holding your brushes from the center as opposed to the end, because unless you need a really light application of something, then holding it from the end is good. But holding it this close is not usually ever good, because it's just kind of rubbing your product around instead of blending it into your skin. It's just kind of rubbing it around everywhere. Especially if it's a product that you already have, like if you already have your foundation done and then you're doing your contour or something on top of it, you're just going to move your foundation around to be able to see your skin under it. So it definitely just helps you, you know, with where to place your fingers if you don't know. But I know where to place them, but a lot of people may not. Just because I've been doing makeup for too long. Too long. So the next one is my Aesthetica P12 brush. It's just a big fluffy guy like this also. Let me sit that down and then move on to these. Move on to these face brushes. The next one is this is a Crown also. I can tell by the divots in it, but the name is rubbed off because it's got these on there also. And this is really good for getting powder on the inner corner right there. Another Crown brush. I believe this is like a contour or a concealer brush. This is my Luxie Precision Foundation 660, but I use this, or I was using this for contour also. It's pretty much the same as the other one I showed you. I think it's exactly the same, just a different color. This is what I've showed you before. That's my favorite highlighting brush, the 522 tapered highlighter. You see me use that all the time. This is what I have been using for blush for the last month or so instead of the brush I was using. This is the Luxie 516 Duo Fiber Powder Brush, and I feel like this has been just applying the perfect amount of blush because of the duo fibers at the end of it. So I've been really enjoying using that for my blush. This is my favorite contouring brush I keep talking about at the moment. You see me use it. It's the Luxie 1010 Small Contour. This one actually has a little thumb divot in it also, and it looks like I have a mustache. But this is one I really like. I think I like it being squared off at the top more so than the rounded one I was using. This is a Luxie Small Contouring Brush. Looks similar to the other one, but it's a little more dome-shaped than the other is. I have way too many brushes. So those are all, no, they're not all the face brushes. Not yet. So the next one I have is a fan brush from Billion Dollar Brows that I had just purchased from Ipsy, I think it was, because I always wanted a fan highlighting brush, and then I didn't like it and was like, I actually don't like the fan highlighting brush, so I don't ever use it. This is the BH number 1 brush. I like to use this for contour, or the BH number 2. They're essentially the same. One is just more rounded at the top than the other, as you can see. This is the Luxie, I'm sorry, the BH number 3. It's just like a flat kabuki brush for foundation. This is the BH number 4 brush. This is what I think I was using for blush. I can't remember now. And this is the Luxie 510 foundation brush. This is not something I would ever use for foundation. I think I had used it for concealer at one point for something. I think it actually was in a video. But I would use this for maybe face mask application, but I would not use this for foundation because I don't like the way it applies on me. It's probably something I'm doing wrong. I don't like it. So this is the Moda brush. It doesn't say what it is. It is like a highlighting brush. I remember what the pamphlet said or whatever. But this actually is what I've been talking about, that I've been using as the perfect application for powder, because like under eye powder, because this is so floofy and like light and not dense at all, that it just kind of applies the perfect amount of powder for somebody like me that gets really, I feel like I get really caked up easily with powder. Even the best, most expensive powders I feel like look cakey on me, but with that brush it's a really light application. This is the other Moto brush I got that came with that, and it's really nice for applying all over powder. And now I think we can move on onto the eye brushes. This is just a BH number 5, a fluffy guy. These are BH ones mostly that I'm showing you right now. This is a BH number 8. This is just the spoolie from BH, which is a definite need if you don't have one. This is a number 9, which is just an angled. This is the concealer brush I was talking about. It's the number 7 that I use if I have to around my eyebrows. This is a BH number 6, the BH number 10 pencil brush, and the BH number 11, which is an angled eyeliner or eyebrow brush. Now, I will tell you that BH brushes are extremely affordable, and these are super comparable. The eyeshadow brushes are to a lot of the other eyeshadow brushes I have. Are they better than high-end brushes? No, but they really are good quality. They really are good, especially for the price. You would expect them to be scratchy or fall apart, but I've had those for over a year, maybe longer than that, maybe 2 years now, and with how many times I've washed them in that time, they still haven't fallen apart. The ferrule has not come loose, which is this part right here, the metal part that holds the bristles to the brush. This is the ferrule. It has the glue in it. If you wash your brush properly, it should not fall out. It should be a good enough brush that the bristles do not fall out or this doesn't come apart from the brush. So never submerge your brush into water, because it will loosen the glue up over time no matter what. No matter how good of a brush. You can do it with your Sigma brushes and it'll still do it. So don't do that. But you just need to wash the ends of them. So this is my Luxie 250 large blending brush. Luxie 246 precision crease brush, which is good for just little small detailed things. But like I said, those BH brushes are really affordable and they are a good buy. And a couple of my brush containers are from BH Cosmetics also, and they're like faux leather or whatever, but they're really nice. They've stood the test of time over a couple of years. They haven't like torn up or anything, and they're pretty easy to clean off if you get something on them, so I definitely recommend those too. I think it was like $7 or something for that. I can't remember. This is the SL Miss Glam, you know I don't say that right, SG62. It's really pretty, little glittery, cutesy kind of brush. Makes me feel like a kid or something. This is the Vintage Cosmetic Company Step 1 for the money. It's just a smudgy shader brush. This doesn't have a name on it besides Alamar Cosmetics. It doesn't say, but it's just a blending brush. This is the Vasanti Concealer Buffer. I don't use it for concealer, but I have used this for just light washes of eyeshadow across the eye. This is from Espoir Collective, and it is, not say what it is, but I used this as a concealer brush, or you could use this just to apply base color onto your eye. This is the Luxie 140 Detailed Taper Blender. This one is good for inner corner applications because it's got that weird tip on it, but I don't use it for much else. This is the Luxie 111 Mini Flat Angled that I show you guys all the time that I use for my inner corner highlight. This is the Luxie 121 Mini Tapered, which is really good for little close crease applications that you need to be really like careful with. This is a really good one for that. This Vasanti Contour Eyeshadow is probably one of my favorite for that. It's just dense enough that it really blends the product out and applies it well, but it's not like too floofy that it's moving around all over the place without blending it out. This is one of my top favorite brushes. This is just an Aesthetica eyeshadow eyelash and eyebrow spoolie that I use. This is what I use every day for my eyebrows, which is why it's kind of gunky looking. Because even when you wash them, they still look like crap, you know what I mean? They still have so much built up product in them that it's hard to really get those clean. This is just a little detailed brush from Alamar Cosmetics. And this is a liner brush from Alamar Cosmetics. It's just one you can use for your brows or your eyeliner. This is the Luxie 209 Large Shader Brush, which is just eyeshadow application. Step 2 for the shadow from the Vintage Company. This is just it's an angled eyeshadow application brush. This is from Farrah Cosmetics 35E, just a blending brush that I like to use for just, once I have my color already on there, go in and blend after it. This is another SL Miss Glam SS57 brush, another glittery, pretty, kind of cool brush. This is another of the Vintage Cosmetics Step 3 Go Girl Go. Just a little smudger brush, good for under eye, good for smudging eyeliner at the lash line also. This is a Luxie 131 Mini Angled. I don't really care particularly for angled brushes, but this still does what I need it to do in terms of blending eyeshadow out. This is a Luxie 237 blending brush. This one is a little too floofy to blend well, but if you're doing light colors that aren't as bold as what I'm wearing right now, they will blend well enough. Now, this is my Luxie 141 Mini Round Luxie brush. This little tiny thing is my favorite for using for contouring. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, I'll link my contouring video up here. But it's for my nose and wherever else I want to do really detailed contouring. This is a crown brush also, and it's just a little flat guy. This one's actually pretty dirty. These two things I keep in my brush container, even though they aren't brushes. These have saved me a ton of money. I cannot remember what they're called, but I got them off Amazon. There are these rubber spatulas. This one is really long, and this one is really short. This one you scrape out the rest of your foundation bottle with, or your face lotion, your skincare products. Just make sure you clean it really well when you're done, because you don't want to contaminate your other products, you know. So you definitely want to clean it really good, but I use this to scrape out the last of my face moisturizer or my foundation. This long one I use to get the rest of like body lotion and stuff like that out of, because it is expensive stuff you don't want to waste. But that was less than $10 for those, and they're like silicone and plastic, so they don't, like the ends are silicone rubber or whatever, like a cooking spatula. And it just really saves a lot of product, especially when you're screwed, like that one morning where you realize you're pumping your foundation, nothing's come out, and you're like, oh crap. You take one of those and take the top off, scrape it out, and you have 2-3 more times of foundation left in there. So it's just a really good thing to have. These are my last brushes that I have to show you guys. So you're like, Jesus Christ, thank you for being done. This is the Bogacious, no it's not, it's the Sedona Lace EB13. I blend with this guy all the time. This is the number 2 Stila brush. I don't know where my other Stila brushes were, but I had some more than this. This is just a little tapered blending brush. This is an Ipsy Precise blending brush. It's just a little detailed blending brush. This is a Luxie 207 medium angled shading brush. This is an Esport Collective liner brush. It's just a little angled liner brush. This is another Stila number 11 concealer brush. I actually don't like this for concealer at all. It is too flimsy. It is not stiff enough, so I rarely use that. This is the Bogacious Illuminator brush. I'm assuming for highlight. I don't ever use it for that. I use it when I just want to use one color. Like if I'm in a hurry and I just want a wash of maybe a light champagne shade across my lid, I dip in that like that, and I'm out the door. This is the Luxie 239 Precision Shader Brush. I really like this brush. It's like, I don't know, it's such a weird tapered shape, and the dual fiber ends really just work well with applying shadows and with Super Shock shadows also. This is an IT Cosmetics Airbrush Crease Brush. If I could talk, you would know. This is an Elizabeth Mott blending brush. This one is one of my first brushes, doesn't have a name on it. It's just a little smudger for under the eye or the liner shadow I was talking about. This is the Luxie 245 Small Shader Brush. It's just a little detailed guy. This is the Bogacious Eyeshadow Brush. It's just a flat shadow applicator brush. These are my Luxie travel brushes that I do in fact travel with, and they travel well, and you throw them in your bag. I like to keep them in a Ziploc bag inside my makeup bag so they're not getting dirty. But this is the 227T. It's just a kind of almost a blending brush. This is the 207T, which is just an angled blender. The 221T, and it's just a liner brush, and the 213T, which is just a flat shader brush. Those work really well. They fit perfectly in your bag and you're out the door, and that's all there is to it. This is just an Urban Decay shadow brush. I have too many brushes, y'all. This is a crown brush. This one actually, it's a pointed crease brush, but this actually doesn't have the divots in it like their other brushes do. This one is not an excellent blending brush to me because it's too floofy. I'm just really picky about that. It needs to have a certain like density to it so that it actually blends the color out. You know what I mean? This brush is a really good one for that. The It Cosmetics Airbrush Shadow, good dense brush. This is the Smashbox Definer brush. It's just like a pencil brush. This is the the Bogash's Smudge Tash brush I talk about. It's funny because it's not Smudge Tash. I'm pretty sure that it's smudge and then it's saying smudge in another language, I believe. I could be wrong if you can see that. But I keep calling it Smudge Tash because I'm a genius. Yeah. This is another one of my first brushes that I believe is Revlon. It's just a shadow brush. And this is another one also, I believe, to be Revlon shadow brush. It's all torn up at the end of it and everything because of how old it is. But golly gee willikers, we are finally finished. I have showed you all of my brushes. Thank you. So that is it for this video. If you guys liked what you see, let me know in the comments below. Go check out all my other videos if you would like. I have tons of other makeup tutorials, collection videos, whatever other videos, I don't even know. I have a lot of other videos if you want to go check them out. But most importantly, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you get to see the new videos that will be coming, right? Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, that's when I post. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!